For the juicy stuff, this is what I will say. I'm glad that I've inspired so many people to go the litigation route. However, unfortunately, that severely restricts what would be wise for me or what I am capable of saying publicly about anything. I do look forward to the continuation of and ideally the resolution of that process, hopefully sooner rather than later. But I think my two legal teams now are probably going to hate me for saying anything at all. So I can't really say much insofar as that goes, unfortunately.
You should probably expect a third legal team that you're going to have to hire here soon.
What's this stuff Lauren keeps saying about you recording people in your apartment? So when Lauren says that over and over again, she's referring to one conversation that I recorded between me and somebody else that had to do with a lot of Melina stuff. Again, in my mind, if somebody's going to f me over or do some really weird, shady maybe, theoretically, I might record a conversation, you know, just because I want this to, if for no other reason, to go back through my own personal records to see what people have said, okay? The way that Lauren keeps saying this is that, like, is implying that I'm, like, recording me people or recording me, like sexual stuff or something like that. That's how she, like, implies it. I don't know if she's going to say, oh, I didn't imply that. I mean, he was a nasty person, just like a mean, bad person or whatever, but I'm like, okay. But yeah, that's when Lauren says that over and over again, that's what she's referring to.
On January 25th, 2025, a woman by the name of Pixie made a statement. On November 29th, the streamer Destiny non-consensually shared my pictures, making me a victim of revenge porn. I will be suing him in federal court. Here is my story. I will be suing Kenneth Bonnell. On November 29th, I learned that the streamer Destiny had non-consensually shared my porn content of me online. My dignity, my peace of mind, and hopes for a future were stripped away in a mere matter of seconds following the betrayal of someone I previously trusted. I'm at least the third person, fourth now, he has done this to. I hope to be the last. I will not be commenting on the experience of other women he has hurt, as it's not my place or story to tell. I will, however, share my story in hopes of preventing this from occurring again. I have known Destiny for around 5 to 6 years now, and I often find myself in a heavy disagreement with him. Despite this, I do my best to see the best sides of people, try my hardest to spread positivity and focus on what we can build bridges together towards a better future for everybody. Some people call this a fault of mine. They claim I am naive and should be more careful. Those people were right. When I was 19 over 5 years ago, I was extremely inexperienced and sheltered. Being severely terrified of leading somebody on or SA, I thought I could trust Destiny, who had multiple long conversations with regarding consent and boundaries. So you can imagine my surprise when I discovered that he distributed pornographic content of me without my consent. Yes, you read that right. Stephen Kenneth sent pornographic content of me to a random 19-year-old e-girl kitten who we had never met before, and then she published it to the whole world. Rest assured, despite never having met her, he at least spoke to her plenty of times on the phone. Of course, this is what he says happened. I think it can be just likely that he used her as a proxy to widely distribute this material while claiming deniability. I do not understand why Destiny would knowingly and willingly put me in a position where I would receive non-stop nasty abuse and harassment. If we believe him, he was trying to impress a barely legal teenager using my body and my privacy. And I'm inclined to believe this because in the messages that Destiny posted on his Reddit thread, and these messages right here that we're looking at, it's really confusing. Like, this is the 19-year-old girl in question, by the name of Rose. And as you can see from this exchange, and I'm not even going to read this out loud, this is just crazy to me that somebody can be like, hey, you know, I've never met you, but here's these videos of somebody that I was involved with intimately, just, you know, completely non-consensually just sharing it with a quote-unquote friend or Discord e-girl kitten or whatever, whoever this person is. I don't really know. I don't know if it's actually a woman. I don't know if it was a hacker. I don't know. I've heard many different things. But the fact of the matter is, in this conversation that we're looking at here, he gave this to somebody else. This has been established, okay? He gave videos and pictures of somebody else who he had an intimate relationship with without their knowledge or consent. Okay? Now, it's also come out that he's also recorded people without their knowledge or consent. This is bad, okay? Again, there's no way that you can wiggle around this. This is plain and simple. He's admitted to giving this content to somebody else. Now, I can't speak for men, but I don't understand why, like, if somebody gives you something personal and intimate, why you would share that with other people, no matter the party, a friend, a family member. I just don't know why you would share those images or videos with anybody other than, unless there's been an established, okay, you can do this. It is a severe, massive violation of trust, boundaries, and at the end of the day, it makes you look like a freak. I mean a freak in a negative way, like a pervert, a sex pest is the best way I can describe you, which is what you are. Because the only way I can see like why you would send this is like, look at how good I am in bed, or look what I did, or maybe I made somebody climax, so I can maybe do this to you too. Here's this video of somebody else. Like, I don't know, man. I can't speak for Steven. I don't know why anyone, I just can't understand why any man or woman would share these types of things with somebody else. It blows my mind how people can be so callous, cruel. There's been a lot of people arguing that they'd be like, well, this girl's suing him in federal court for revenge porn, right? And they're like, well, he didn't do it maliciously. Destiny said that he gave these videos to another woman without any malicious intent. Therefore, it doesn't qualify as a crime because it was not malicious intent. Like, okay, if you want to get really technical, sure, it wasn't done maliciously, but it was done, okay? Just because you don't physically have to have a malicious intent behind doing something doesn't mean that you haven't messed up or screwed up, okay? One of the biggest things here that I want to mention here is that, so after these things were sent, also about a month and a half ago, a bunch of videos of Destiny and other parties got leaked online. And in that context, his and other people's videos were released to the world without their consent, right? And that's a crime. It's horrible. Nobody should have to experience that. Even Destiny himself, despite doing what he did, nobody should have to be a victim of that, okay? But what people fail to understand in this conversation here is that Destiny, while he had his own videos leaked by an alleged hacker or something, he's also a perpetrator in this, okay? People seem to think of the word victim, and they think that a victim's a victim and they can't do no wrong. No. Destiny is a victim, but also a perpetrator and somebody who should not be trusted on any circumstance in the bedroom, period, at all, with anybody after this established pattern, okay? Simple. Perpetrator and victim are not mutually exclusive terms. They can coexist and they work both off of each other, okay? Pixie in this situation is a victim. You did something with somebody and you trusted somebody and they violated that trust. As far as everything, and we're going to go through some of this, Pixie didn't do anything wrong. Betrayal, coupled with hundreds of messages I've received filled with horrible harassment and abuse, have left me feeling hopeless and devoid of almost all happiness. The only thing that has kept me going is the hope that I can bring this man to justice and have him face legal consequences for his actions. For the past month, I have been speaking to lawyers about my situation, what to do, and have decided to do this for the best course of action. I will be suing him for violating Federal Code 15 USC 6851 civil action relating to the discourse of intimate images for the publication of private facts in Florida. I will be seeking emotional and punitive damages for his actions. I've been told that a court case like this could potentially cost tens of thousands of dollars. I'm terrified. This guy I've talks about potentially suing Hassan as if for fun, and Hassan actually has the resources to defend himself. I cannot imagine what he might do to try to do me in the process. Sometimes I wonder if he does this as an intimidation tactic. I wonder if he purposely tried to put fear in my heart when he casually talks about throwing money into a lawsuit with multimillionaires who can fight back, as if it's an indirect flaunt/warning over his capability of outspending me in whatever legal case I can throw at him. At the request of friends, I have been encouraged to link my Give Send Go regarding the case here in hopes that we can raise enough for the legally succeeded. Now, in this particular thing, look at that. She has reached $30,000 already, which is absolutely amazing. Incredible. I am very, very happy for this. I've already given some money personally for this because this man needs to face penalties for doing what he did, period. There's no way, you're not going to convince me otherwise. There's no way you can convince me that this is not something that is a complete horrible crime. Whoever the next Joe Rogan of the left is, it cannot be someone who crosses that type of sexual boundary, violates consent, and puts women's well-being and the safety at risk. It cannot be somebody who puts women in positions where they will be abused and harassed. It concerns me that Destiny has only been interviewing potential DNC chair candidates, blah, 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 who have no idea what he's done. As time passes, he tries to position himself to have interviews with increasingly powerful figures, such as Lizinski. I can't help but feel with the fear of Destiny might continue to succeed despite facing no repercussions for his actions. The Democratic Party wishes to succeed in the future. It cannot be a party that accepts the exploitation of women. It cannot be a party that allows men like Destiny to break into the mainstream, for allowing him access to such spaces would be direct endorsement of the behavior. And I agree with this 100%. I've been told that a payout might not be worth the harassment and attention I will receive. In an ideal world, I would do this privately, but I have been told there's no realistic way a court will grant me anonymity. This means the only option is public. I've been told by variety of people not to go public. I've been told by some people that Steven really does feel sorry, but I'm not inclined to believe them, especially taking into consideration his actions regarding me. Regardless, what Destiny did is just unacceptable, and I believe he will do it again unless he faces justice. Let me be clear, Destiny has violated federal laws, transgressions against me, he has violated my consent, and is directly responsible for the abuse that I have received. I am terrified. Evidence logs. Destiny apologizing me to his actions. Destiny downplaying the pain I felt in my concerns. Again, there's a Reddit thread, and there's direct stuff of him admitting to what he has done. Okay? If you still support this man after that, I want nothing to do with you, and I mean that. I don't want to be friends with anybody who defends this type of shit, who thinks this type of behavior is acceptable, because let me tell you, there's some friends of Destiny that have kind of like, oh, I'm still working with Destiny in a business context. You're crazy. Like, I'm sorry, if I had a personal friend or a business partner or anybody in my personal life that I found out released video and recorded video of people without their knowledge and consent and released it to other people, that friendship, that business relationship would be severed instantly. There's no nuance there. There's no, kind of gray moral area. You're donezo, bro. I don't want anything to do with you. Maybe that's extreme coming from me. I don't know. But that's how I feel, and that's what I think, and that's where I'm going to stand by. That's where I draw the line. Like, you do something like this horrendous, you don't deserve my friendship for what my friendship's even worth, which is like nothing. But oh my goodness. But there's logs upon logs upon logs out there. I'm just showing some of the stuff that's been established and posted. He did offer. So something that I do want to bring up is in Pixie's messages, she does bring up the fact that she wants to hurt him financially in hopes that the financial consequences, if he faces that, will keep him from doing this type of behavior again. And honestly, I think that's fair. And considering that Destiny has already offered, it was implied that he was willing to pay for her schooling and stuff in order to like help her for the stuff that he did as a way for like this not to go legal. Those messages are out there. This is a crazy situation. If we go back in time, it's just fascinating to read some of these messages. Destiny, if he wants to expose me, this is in regards to Mr. Girl, that's fine, let him expose me, but he needs to post receipts instead of just vaguely alluding to stuff. That's where there's literally nothing anyone could have on me other than anything I don't do anything bad/weird. I am the cleanest mofo in this entire scene. The worst anyone could do is ever have on me is some pickle pics or something. He can talk about whatever he wants. He should provide proof, not just baseless accusations/speculation. Well, the times have changed, hasn't it, Destiny? Another woman, Cherry, says, today I was made aware of an intimate audio recording taken of me without my consent that was also shared without my consent. I'm upset right now, and I'm giving myself time to process this. This is serious. The person who received the recording from Destiny was not aware I did not consent to the recording. They recognized me by my voice message and messaged me today out of concern. I don't feel comfortable sharing more right now. Destiny has me block and ban me and people supporting me from his community. I've not done anything besides ask him for an explanation, as I was assured this was something he didn't do to me. When I was given one privately, I spoke when I wasn't given one privately, I spoke publicly. I am not involved in any lawsuit or coordinating with anyone seeking justice due to the leaks in November, although they have had my empathy and support in their efforts. It is only yesterday I became aware that Destiny had recorded me while we had intercourse without my consent, and with no regard for me also shared their recording to other people. 2 other women have now let me know that they've received these recordings from me in September of 2023 without my consent. I thank them so much for their concern for me. No amount of public humiliation will ever make me regret being made aware of what was done to me. I'll be filing a police report and pressing charges, as she very well should be. You know, all of my intimate jiggy time in my private life, the only person who's seen anything, Pikachu. Pikachu's been watching me over here for the last 7-8 months. It's my new apartment. He's seen it all, okay? He doesn't record anybody. She. If Pikachu can do it, why can't you, Destiny? Maybe that's a stupid analogy because Pikachu doesn't exist. But the point is, what is wrong with you, dude? You know, here's some additional messages that I just want to throw out to the screen for your consumption, all right? This is Destiny literally saying that if people think that I don't understand how anyone can say stuff like this. Like, he's making a joke out of this and is like, oh, well, if I'm going to be put on a list, I'm taking 20 other people with me. Like, what does that even mean, bro? Are you saying that you know of people who have done the same thing as you, non-consensually recorded people and then sent videos and stuff to other people? 20 other people who've done the same thing as you? You're not going to out them unless you go down? Like, what type of mentality is that? I mean, it shouldn't be really surprising to me because these are 2 additional tweets that Destiny made, making light of the situation of what he's done, which to me, in a situation where you've admitted that you screwed up, all right? You've admitted that you did something wrong. You broke people's trust. You shared intimate photos with other people without their knowledge or consent. You recorded people without their knowledge or consent. And your response after you say, like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done this, is then to make a joke out of it, is beyond telling of the type of person that you are. Korean barbecue is a little overrated, but I've always loved the short rib at this particular place. Goon barbecue. Now, if you're not an internet person, the word gooning in Urban Dictionary is described as a state which usually is achieved after a prolonged edging session when a man becomes completely hypnotized by the feeling of irradiating his pickle. Since gooning state can only be achieved after edging, yeah, that's enough. I'm not going to go into it. Basically, hyper-arousal. Woohoo! You're going to goon over that person. Like, horrible. I don't know why you're making jokes about this. Then, just a few days ago, he did another tweet, me getting ready for my streaming return, and he posted this screenshot of Dr. Disrespect cosplay. If you're unfamiliar with Dr. Disrespect, a big streamer who admitted to having inappropriate conversations with somebody under the age of 18, this is what he's in reference to. Really horrible. This is just, I'm sorry. This is not somebody who's taken accountability, who won't take accountability, who doesn't actually think. They may say that they've done wrong in the private DMs, but from a publicity standpoint, from the public, I mean, come on, man. If you want to cosplay as somebody who has inappropriate conversations with people under the age of 18, be my guest. You clearly have some sort of physical addiction that you don't really want to admit to because, like, you have to screw everybody and you try to screw everybody. And it's just crazy to me that someone as big as you, I'm so shocked that stuff hasn't come out sooner, honestly. I always heard rumors and things in the distance about him being a horrible person. And now that we have an absolutely established timeline, an arc of Destiny actually confirming that he did all these horrible things, well, I'm going to say it again for the parasocial out there. Don't look up to me. Don't look up to Death. Don't look up to any internet people, man. Like, watch people to be entertained. That's it. Don't look up to anyone online. Okay? These political figures, these people who you think that are your biggest role model, no, they're not. They're human. Now, being human doesn't justify terrible behavior. But at the end of the day, a lot of people, and it's clear in Destiny's case, he takes advantage of people that he gets close to, and he hurts people. And there's no way in God's green earth you can convince me that sharing intimate photos with other people without their knowledge or consent or recording them isn't going to hurt someone. It does. It's wrong. It's a crime. And I support Pixie 100%. She's made it very clear in DMs that she didn't even want to do this, go forward with this, but she's really left with no other option. I'm going to be covering this when the litigation happens because it's going to be public. I'm going to be all for it, and I'm going to be covering it. I'm going to make streams. I'm going to cover all this because this litigation process is fascinating to me, and it's really horrible that it even has to go this way. But sometimes people need to face consequences for the things they do, because what Pixie said is true. If somebody has a pattern of behavior that is just so reprehensible that it's never battled and people don't fight it to its core, they're going to do it again and again and again and again. I support litigation from any. I know Pixie's doing her thing. I hope this can become a multi-personal lawsuit where other people can come in and support each other and make this bigger, because this needs to financially break him. Look, Destiny's a multi-millionaire, okay? I don't feel bad for anybody who's a millionaire. I don't. Especially when they're committing crimes. Especially when they're breaking people's trust. Especially when they're harming people. And this harms people. You know, having videos of you spread all throughout the internet when you've given your trust to somebody, no matter what relationship dynamic you're in, that stuff is horrific. That sends people on a downward mental health spiral because you can't do anything. And you have millions of people seeing you in an intimate way, in a way that you never wanted people to see, that you only thought one other person was seeing. I don't need to explain the psychological damage that non-consensual release of intimate photos can do to men and women. And Destiny perpetrated all of this. People say, well, the hacker released all this stuff. Well, I don't think the hacker would have had everything they did if Destiny hadn't been sharing it with everybody. Was he even really hacked? I don't know. Now, another girl came forward, but the dynamic's a little bit different, and it's not a specifically explicit recording. But the fact of the matter, this just goes to show that this is the type of thing that he does. He recorded this girl's, I guess, personal conversation and then attempted to have it on the back burner in case he wanted to blackmail her.
So still, like he has so many victims, and he has done this same shtick over and over and over again, where he reaches out, or other women reach out to him who are 18 or 19 or 20. And he does the same song and dance where he tries to use and abuse them and then discard them when it's no longer relevant or useful for him. And unfortunately, I made the mistake of not having had sex with him. And after that point, he decided to just do a full smear campaign on me, and threatened to leak non-sexual. In this case, I feel like it's important to recognize that, because these people have had to deal with him leaking sexual video footage or audio footage, but then he threatened to leak non-consensual, illegal recordings of me. We had a conversation, and he recorded it in California, which is a two-party consent state, which you cannot record people without their consent, and then threatened to leak that. And I thought that the audio recording was of a different nature, and I was super scared. I was terrified. And that was me thinking it was something else. Like in California, yes. And since that moment, I basically didn't talk about him at all because, like I said, he is a black hole. He's a cynical piece of shit black hole whose only goal is to sexually abuse women, a lot of women like Pixie, or like Cherry, or like any of the women that he surrounds himself with. And I am very happy to see that there is finally someone who is a perfect victim, who is brave enough to come out. Does he just record everyone around him? Yes. Yes.
Which is just like, okay. Now, Denims, I know a lot of people don't like her, and that's understandable. I'm not the biggest fan of her either. But at the end of the day, I can also sit back and say, hey, you know, I may not like you or may not support you overall, but this was wrong done to you, right? I'm not that super black and white when it comes to situations. And then Destiny, you know, in messages has also confirmed, like, yeah, I have this on the back burner. It's like, dude, what are you doing? And I'm going to say something that's probably going to get me canceled from this, but at the end of the day, I don't care because this is not my job no more. Look, I hope Melina and your divorce, what I truly hope comes out of this lawsuit is I hope Melina does something legally against you in terms of getting the custody of your child. Now, in most cases, I really try to avoid bringing up people's kids, but this is off, we're off limits now because you have a child, you have an ex-wife, you guys got divorced, and I think she should have full, maybe you guys have split custody, I don't know, but I think she should go for full custody because I don't think somebody like you should be a father and have full custody of your child. I genuinely believe that. Like, if you're somebody who does this type of crime and you have children, you should face the consequences fully and you should have everything stripped away from you. I really believe that, including your custody of your kid. That's what I think. Cancel me, go for it. I'm good. I rarely check YouTube anyway. Something that I do find funny in this situation is that currently Destiny is probably, I imagine all this pent-up rage that he's going through right now, because this was just him less than 48 hours ago, and he's popping into other people's streams and stuff, and he seems a little bit mad that he can't really speak about many things because of the legal situation that he's stuck in because of his own behavior and choices. But Steven, you've made a whole entire career off of talking about other people. A lot of people do that on here on YouTube. But now you can't talk about anything because of the situation that you brought upon yourself. And I hope this honestly goes really south for you. I hope you end up paying an astronomical amount of money towards the people that you've harmed in this, because they deserve that. You're a terrible person, and you genuinely need therapy. And I'm not using therapy as like an insult. Like, you need it. I've been in therapy for over almost 5 years now. I started in 2021. And then a few years prior, I was in therapy for like additional 2 years. But like, I'm a big advocate for therapy, and people like you, when they have as severe issues as you do on harming people, you need to like sit down with a professional and figure out why you do what you do and why you exhibit the behaviors you exhibit and why you end up hurting people the way that you've hurt people. It's not a comfortable situation to be involved in. You know, therapy is very, very self-actualization on finding yourself and how you can better have coping mechanisms in your life to not screw things up majorly and do things that would be considered dysfunctional. But hey, you're not going to listen to me. I'm a nobody. This is something that I know has been kind of scrubbed from the internet. Nothing's truly scrubbed from the internet, but this was years and years and years ago. And I'm sure Destiny doesn't want people seeing this clip, but I'm going to post it out there anyway because it's out there. The internet's the internet, and the internet's forever. So stay away from Destiny if he's drunk.
Not that you never drank. Okay.
I know, right? If I was a real friend, I would make you. Okay.
Okay, stop.
Go. Go. Oh my God.
Listen,
I'm gonna apologize.
Yeah,
to you.
say
There's
sorry.
So much
Get
come out.
this.
just let her play another week.
Huh. A lot of people forgot about that one. Yeah, so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Until next time, I will be keeping update on this litigation and anything that comes out further. I'll probably do live streams because I haven't live streamed for a couple weeks because I've just been super busy. But yeah, I'll catch you guys sometime next week for another video. And yeah, thank you for watching. Also, if you made it this far in the video, make sure to join my Discord. I have a gaming Discord. It's linked down below. It's free to people to join. I'm building a pretty nice quality gaming community over there. I play a lot of DBD, Delta Force, video games. If you don't play video games, probably don't join because you're not going to really fit in there. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out!